Really don't think the devil wanted us to do this tonight. I got here early, and so I, tuned up and everything, and I thought, well, that doesn't sound right. So I had some information here on my phone. Let's try this. I'm actually in a tuning I've never been in tonight, ever, on my instrument, but I think it sounded pretty. But I went through 3 tunings today, and then I found out the preacher was spying on me with cameras, and so he said I hurt his ears so bad he had to put cotton in them or something. No, I'm just teasing about that. But, I love the old hymn. Turn to page number 10. We're going to kind of do this a little bit different tonight for our history of the hymns. And the year is 1869. I think that's the same year the Civil War ended, I think. William Doane, who lived in the South, you can see his name on the right of page number 10, and Fanny Crosby, they often collaborated together on hymns. Now, they lived like from New York to somewhere, and so they didn't live next door to each other. But this hymn, Near the Cross, was written in reverse of most hymns. Most of the time, Fanny Crosby would write a poem. She was a poet. She considered herself a poet as much as a songwriter. And so most times she'd write a set of lyrics, and then she would find a collaborator who could compose a melody. But in this particular case, I found out that the melody writer William Doane came to Fanny and with a melody, and he played her something like this. And he said, Fanny, come up with some words to that. And she did. She sure did, based on the melody. So it was written first. And this hymn first appeared in a collection. This is according to a website I found called Discipleship Ministries. In 1869, the first collection was a collection of hymns called Bright Jewels. Mr. Doane was a part of that, and Chester Allen, 2 of those folks, Brad Berry and W.F. Sherwin, were collaborators at different times with Fanny Crosby. But indeed, Doane wrote the music first and then handed it to her. For some reason, history records that this hymn was really predominantly accepted by the Methodist in Methodist denomination. Not sure why, but hymnal editor Carlton R. Young, who was a Methodist writer, said, "It is one of many texts by Fanny Crosby that combined vivid imagery." Now, he said that, and I thought, that's interesting, since Fanny Crosby couldn't see physically. But this man, Mr. Young, said, what imagery is in this song? Listen what he says, and then when we sing it, or try to sing it, I want you to think about everything you're hearing here inside this hymn, because it's using evangelical metaphors like the cross, the fountain of healing streams, free grace, the daily walk of faith, God's pursuing love and mercy, Jesus, the Lamb of God. It also talks about the river, beyond the river of death, the hereafter with the golden streets. Most people call that heaven, but that seems like that's, that city built 4 square, not sure. And I love this one because today people want to argue about the rapture, but the rapture's in this song. The rapture, imagery in this song. It talks about the glory of the cross, a theme in the refrain or the chorus. The cross, a place, listen to this, where the pain of earth and the joy of heaven come together.
Amen. Good.
In this song.
Amen.
So when you hear this song, those are the things to think about. This song, this writer said, is a kind of a spiritual altar to which we might draw near for refuge and solace. From it flows a precious fountain, an image perhaps borrowed from the 18th century poet William Cowper and his hymn, There is a Fountain Filled with Blood. Perhaps that's drawing upon that imagery. And then Mr. Young said this. He says, though an instrument of cruel punishment and torture, the cross is a source of a healing stream. That's stanza 1. A place where the bright and morning star sheds its beam on us. And that's in stanza 2, and that's just to get the song started. Now I'm going to kind of do this. I'm kind of going to sing it kind of like you were singing a ballad. And I want you to sing along, and I'm probably going to slow it down just a little bit for 2 reasons. Number 1, to really hear that melody that Mr. Doane wrote, but more importantly, that melody. I want you to take time to absorb these words, and I think I hope you get a blessing. I sure got a blessing out of getting ready for it. So anyway. Jesus, keeping the cross, there a precious fountain, free to all the healing stream, flow from Calvary's mountain. Shall find rest beyond the river, near the cross, O Lamb of God. Blessed saints before me, everyone from day to day, leaving shadows over me. In the cross, be my glory ever. Shall find rest beyond the river. Near the cross I'll watch and wait, hoping, trusting ever, till I reach the golden strand, just beyond the river.